Hi, y'all. Today we're going to talk about character growth and how it works both ways. Sometimes this can be considered a Rashomon approach. Not too long ago, we talked about the importance of character growth for our characters, but what about when our characters help us grow our character? We all have characters in our lives we've used as sort of a personal metric when it comes to making hard choices. So, what would Jesus do? What would Buffy do? What would RDJ do? We don't need to worry about Cap because, seriously, whatever he'd be doing it all day. Anyway, most of us base a lot of our characters' personality traits on people we know, at least a little bit, because they're traits that we're experienced in dealing with, and to a degree we can understand them. So it makes sense that in the real world, when we're at a loss for how to handle a certain situation, then we often turn to characters who have some quality or qualities that we admire in order to help us figure it out. Especially when we either don't have a person to bounce our need off of, or maybe that's the person you need to figure out how to approach. For example, let's say I'm talking about people with a shared history, so a parent, a sibling, childhood bestie, you get the idea. And that person recalls things in a vastly different way than you do. Character perspective is an excellent way for an artist of any medium to have fun with or learn from a situation. But if you, if you can manage to be objective, it can teach you more than you can imagine. So in short, anything Rashomon. Now, Rashomon is a technique used usually in cinema. It was used in the 1950 Kurosawa film Rashomon, in which we explore truths and lies from various perspectives of the characters. If you'd like a more modern take on it, the TV show Leverage comes to mind. Season 3, Episode 11, I believe, The Rashomon Job. Anyway, which Leverage is just a great show. So, and Leverage Redemption is also fantastic. So, just my personal opinion, but anyway, so here's a for instance. It's the holidays, and this is, of course, as we know, the ultimate time of year for family strife and depression. The family bully, now almost 30 or coming close to middle age even, is suddenly whining about, let's say, not having been included to go on a family cruise, which was gifted to the grandparents. Might have been even decades ago, gifted to the grandparents for, say, their 60th anniversary. But the facts are that when the family got together to pitch in for the cruise, the bully person was backpacking through Europe for a summer and never bothered to call. For all of 3 months, no calls, no postcards, no itinerary left behind or given to the family to follow so that they could check up and see if they were okay. No hint that they were even alive while they're backpacking. So, didn't even send a card to the grandparents for their anniversary. Again, just a full no contact, which 30 years ago was a very rare thing, although a lot of us tried to get there. So when the facts are actually pointed out to the bully, they squat like a toddler, pouting. Oh, so it's my fault. And of course, somebody is going to have the mouth, in my family it was usually me, and says, yeah, it is. Now, in such a way that everyone knows there's a volcano of frustration and resentment, and it's going to blow like Krakatoa. But what nobody but the bully knows is that since childhood, they've been suffering with a mix of active and passive suicidal ideation. And right now, that person is teetering on the edge of slipping from passive to active. Now, when you're writing, it's real easy to test the scene. It's super easy to go ahead and just let your mouth character go ahead and just let him have it. All of it, all the frustration and everything out, and see what the consequences would be based on the known behaviors and internal situations of each character. You can't do that in real life. And to many of us, it can actually be a huge source of frustration to not be able to vocalize these things. And this is where I talk about using writing, using your creativity, whether it's visual art or written or other mediums. Help me out here. Tell me what other mediums for artistry. Sculpting, sculpture. I love Rodin. So anyway, sorry, and I don't mean the giant bird from, coming, always attacking Tokyo. My apologies. It's Saturday. My brain is everywhere right now. But anyway, so you can't actually just kind of let things out the way that you would like to. But this is why creativity is such an important outlet for everybody. So there can be a lot of different ways to take the situation. And if you don't like how it goes in your creative modality, then it's easy to start over. You can scrap it. You can, pick out pieces and reweave the cloth, as it were. But you can't do that in the real world. And what this comes back to is the concept of walk a mile in someone else's shoes, whether it's the holidays or any other day. Trying to remember that in real life, our words can't be unsaid, and the power of them can't be undone. So as much as we may want to occasionally blast out at an individual for whatever perceived slights and incorrect behavior, or things that we perceive as incorrect behavior, but they just maybe didn't want to spread around. So it's easy to see why somebody who's depressed may not want to be around. They may not want to bring other people down. They may not want other people to know that they're depressed. They just may not be up to dealing with it. So if you understand the people around you, it actually gets easier when you dive into the psyche of your characters to a degree. Now, I'm not talking that I'm not, suggesting in any way, shape, or form that you should dive into depression, but you should be able to recognize when you have been feeling down and feeling blue, and understand how maybe you might have felt about it, so that you can have some sort of basis for empathizing with the individual in your life. And, save it for the pages, save it for the canvas, save it for the sketch pad or your clay. Either way, the rage, the resentment, and the pain that you might want to inflict may well do more damage to you in the long run than the person that you're aiming it at. And again, with words, you can't take them back. They can't be unspoken, and the pain can't be undone. So as we approach the holidays, all I'm asking is for a little bit of discretion and empathy, and no matter how frustrating it may be and how much you don't want to be empathetic toward a person, no matter how much you despise potentially that person or just dislike their company and don't want to be there, remember that they do have feelings, whether or not they show them, whether or not you know about them. You never know what's going on inside their head. So write a poem, write a short story, create a new villain, create a new monster on your canvas. But just remember that out there in the real world, we're all people. So anyway, if you found any of this helpful at all, please like, subscribe, definitely share. Please ding the notification bell, and please comment. It helps the algorithm. I know you've heard it a bazillion times by now, but I'm trying to get to that magic number of 1,000 subscribers, and so please help me with that. I work full time, but monetization, getting monetized by hitting the metrics necessary, the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours, it would be incredibly helpful. So if you could do that for me, I would deeply appreciate it. In the meantime, remember, we're also trying to build a community of creatives. So, if you have strategies to share, please don't hesitate to share them. Everybody knows something that nobody else knows and can teach everybody something. So use your experience, help us learn, help each other, help us help each other in our community of creatives. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you. So please keep reading, keep writing, keep creating, and together we will keep hope alive. So till next time, thank you.